Welcome back, you auditors of awesomeness, to another fun-filled, action-packed day of playing Baldur's Gate Let's Play Luther Edition. Good. If I combine all the words together, eventually you'll get the point, right? Please insert CD there. I've said all the words. Thanks, guys, for dropping in to another day here. Last we left off, we were just into the third floor of the Nashkellian mines, and we were about to walk around and see more of what the underground has in store for us. Man, we are just so much better equipped in the good Let's Play, it isn't even funny. We've even taken less time to get here. We've taken less time to reach this point in the dungeon. It's kind of just hilarious, really. I suppose, in truth, I am just far more used to playing through the game with the good characters. Let's do some quick house cleaning. I know that's not exactly the most exciting thing to open up to. Oh, we just started playing? Let's organize all the inventory, why don't we? But that is what we need to do at this juncture. Now, who's going to be our treasure holder? Usually I let the thief do it, so we'll have Imoen hold it all. We'll swap all these. She probably, well, the thing is, we could get rid of her short sword, and I swear, the moment we get rid of it is probably the moment that it snaps in half, the current one that she's using. Then again, she primarily uses her bow. Yeah, alright, we'll get rid of the short sword. All scrolls go to Dynahair, the heir of Dynasty. No, that pun sounded funnier in my head before I opened my mouth and said it, much like many of the things that I say in my life. Surprisingly, how many people do we use bows with? I forgot that old Minsky had a bow here. What? You call me Minsky? That is not my name. We'll want to make sure Luther's using his long sword. Okay, that seems to be a good approximation of where we need to be. Contaminated iron, I don't remember if this actually helps us. We'll go ahead and hang on to it just in case Baron Gas Kill wants even more proof somehow that shenanigans are afoot. Otherwise, I think we're good to go. Last question, does Dynahair know sleep? No, she does not, so we're in for a little bit of a rocky time here on the upcoming. Another funny thing is, our party is just predominantly level 2. The evil party is even a higher level. Has access to level 2 spells at this point, and we are still... I guess spoilers. I probably shouldn't give too much away, but yeah, we are, it's amusing, it's very amusing to me, the comparison between two different playthroughs, and just how vastly different they can be. Okay, so kobolds are rearing up. This is a great place to drop a sleep spell. If you have it, it'll just put all these kobolds all bunched together asleep. We don't have it, and that's fine. Typically, I play as a wizard, as I've mentioned numerous times before, and so the main character, in my case, Chezni, has all of these beautiful, wonderful spells right from the beginning. Sleep being the first one I choose every time. Sleep and Identify, usually. Magic Missile, there's plenty of those. You'll find more of those as you play the game. Regardless, we do not have Sleep. We do not have Identify. And Luther, our good friend, is a fighter, so that does not avail us here. Now, did we come to the conclusion that Dynahair cannot learn Identify? Is that what we figured out? What is she? She's an Invoker? Is that also the same class as Edwin? Did the creators of Baldur's Gate seriously give players two different wizards, neither of which could actually learn Identify? Because if they did, that seems cruel. Whoa! Okay, double traps right in front of us. Good thing we didn't step forward. Imoen will be fine to take a couple shots from that kobold before we inevitably finish him off.
Here we go.
But yeah, alright, let's just keep moving through these mines. It is Again, we're encountering no resistance here. Everything is dying. We're just kind of sweeping right through here. The mines in general are just kind of a dreadful place to be. There's not a ton that's interesting down here. There's a couple random creatures like some spiders, a couple of ghouls. Those are kind of fun, but overall, yeah, you don't get much bang for your buck down here. Each kobold worth only 7. A meager 7 EXP, which is just insanely small. Practically non-existent. Luther with his shield and Splint Mail is going to make short work of anything he encounters here. Not even worried about... Oh! We hit the trap. Okay, let's take a quick look and make sure we don't hit more traps here. We triggered one. Now, of course, the scariest thing are the
unexpected request, but sure.
Traps that don't disarm after you trigger them. Those are the worst. Luckily, it does not seem that that was the case with that one. Imoen being targeted by our kobold friend. Jaheira out of healing magic. We'll need to find a place to rest in order to get Imoen back up to full fighting condition.
Good on you if you saved the day.
I think there's a ghoul over here, or just a sea of kobolds. That kind of describes Nashkel in general, a sea of kobolds. Minsk! Can't blame him that much. He had his bow out, which complicates things. One of the kobold's swords broke. That's amusing.
Not an unexpected request, but sure.
Here's our ghoul. As long as we engage him from a range, he should serve no real threat. By the time he gets close enough to paralyze somebody, I'm sure we'll have more or less brought him down to size. Yes, like that. Angel Skin Ring. Dropped an Angel Skin Ring. Very good, valued ring. That was a really dumb way to say that. It's worth a pretty penny. You'll get a nice sum for selling it. There's our huge spider. Another huge spider. Sorry, this is fantastic. We are just steamrolling everything with no real effort. What is going on here? Is this just the superior party?
I will not make this contest.
Chesney's only able to play the game as a good character, apparently. I don't know why the party's standing around not attacking here. So we have a Kobold Commando, worth 35 EXP if I remember correctly. Which just seems so small considering the threat that they present. Yeah, 35 EXP. That's nuts. That's as much as a Gibberling. I would want to fight an army of Gibberlings any day, rather than a Kobold Commando. I feel like Kobold Commando would be much more fairly priced at 100 EXP. But, as you veterans of the game know, there is a section of the game where, oh boy, pretty much nothing but Kobold Commandos spawn. Perhaps they were worried about that being abusable as far as a location to... hello. As a location to grind for EXP. So we see 3 traps. Go ahead and disarm those. Those are magic missile traps. Probably wouldn't kill Luther. Well, one of them wouldn't, but all 3 might. Oh, one of them dropped a potion of mind focusing? That's surprising. And I'm going to eat my words because Luther just gained a level off of the the meager 7 EXP that I was insulting earlier is now apparently enough to push him up to the next level. Luther up in front, gathering the attention of the commandos as well as the minor kobolds will remove any real threat of danger in this situation, especially now that the kobold has swapped back over to its main... sorry, the commando had previously swapped over to its melee weapon before it died.
I'm not surprised. What the heck?
And, yeah, that's pretty much the Nashkel Mines. Good riddance. Did we find Joseph's Greenstone ring? We need to be careful not to sell that. That's the only real quest down here. There's Joseph's Greenstone ring, there's Kylie's dagger, and then as long as you grab enough stuff to prove that funny things are happening in the mines, there's no real other excitement to be had down here. In fact, it's a pretty dull place overall. Normally we would be frightened about having our character engage with a ghoul in melee combat, but again, That's the only ghoul here. Our whole party's here. We don't need to play it safe. It's fine. Okay. So, now that we are at the end, as it is, we need to take a snooze and apparently be set upon by a whole another brigade of kobolds. Luther even managing to be hit there. I wonder if that was a crit. Takes 12 damage. Ooh, that's not small. Yep. One of them rolled a 20. Oh, plenty of them. Oh, no, that was us. Hold on, where's the kobolds' rolls? Kobold. Come on, where's the... Oh, no, okay. Yeah, so the kobold rolled a 20. And that was what ended up actually piercing Luther's armor.
Not in here.
And at this point we should... wow, those kobolds are taking hits but not actually dying. The damage must be fairly low. 4 missile damage from Jaheira. Apparently that's not enough. I don't like Minx, but you gotta love his lines. It's hard to hate the guy.
Okay, had to try.
Apparently we can't pick up things again. We don't really need bow and arrows. Character's too far away. Sorry, rather, we don't need more arrows. But we do have 3 characters that use them, so perhaps it would be a good idea to go ahead and stockpile them, since we're going to be running through them fairly fast. And, yeah, otherwise, we'll try that again. We gotta rest. Chances of being attacked, or ambushed, I should even say, in the mines when you try to sleep are fairly high. Let's see if we have some magic that can help even the odds here. Not really. Got magic missile, and that's kind of it. Bless is not going to be cast quick enough. What? We lost Imoen? Oh no. Oh man. Okay, I didn't expect that to happen. That's quite a blow. We don't need her for this last fight, but still. That's really too bad. Alright, well, suppose not everything is going as according to plan down here.
That might work.
We're gonna have to make sure that we acquire all of her goods, as it is, to ensure that she is able to be fully geared when we get her back.
An unexpected request, but sure. Excellent.
You point, I punch.
Otherwise, we'll see what these little dog devils have on them.
I'm not an unexpected request.
We're gonna have to risk resting again. We just can't fight this upcoming battle without a proper amount of HP. Jaheira taking a hit there. We're gonna want to pull her back.
I'm not surprised. But no, not in here.
Huh! Well, things were going so swimmingly, and now we're actually running into resistance.
Excellent. What the
One more time. Try to rest again. Okay, and if we get this next rest off, no, that could have been it. That could have been enough that we would have been fully up HP-wise and having our spells back. However, assuming that we are able to fight this battle without taking damage, it shouldn't matter. Again, we're playing this game attempting not to restart, and this is kind of one of the shortcomings, I suppose you could say, of random battles when you rest. It's just frustrating. It's not really exciting. It's just like rolling the dice and hoping you get lucky enough to be able to sleep down here. Pillars of Eternity did this interestingly. They gave you a finite amount of camping supplies, and oh, look at that. One of Luther's swords broke. That's fine. It gave you a finite amount of camping supplies, which I know doesn't make the world's a world of sense, but on some level it didn't make sense from a thematic standpoint, but mechanically it forced you not to just be able to constantly rest. It forced you to be a lot more mindful of trying to move into a location and sweep it out as efficiently as possible. Anyway, we're going to go ahead and enter into this mine, or whatever it is. I'm going to pull back and draw these kobolds out a little bit, just so that we can get a better handle on them all. We're going to have Luther move in first, draw any attention of any remaining ones. And that should allow us to move on to the rest.
I'm not.
Okay.
That might work.
Give a quick talk to Zan.
You for my freedom, friends, for I have languished in these dismal vaults too long.
Okay, so if you want to know something really funny, the guy does a ton of voices and a ton of things, but I'm barely certain if you're familiar with the cartoon character Johnny Bravo. This is the same voice actor as Johnny Bravo, which is just fantastic because the characters are so different from each other. Anyway, I will do my best impersonation of Zan. Huh. At last I am free from my dreary prison. 85 days are far too long for one of the fair folk to live as a dwarf. You look no better than I, but my appreciation for my liberty bids me add my spells to your cause. I am Zan. Shall we face the impossible together? Let's see here. How did you become trapped in such an inhospitable place? Alas, I was sent to investigate the strange goings-ons about in this area, and I landed caged for seemingly hopeless weeks on end. I have not seen the sun in almost as long as I have not seen my home. Certainly you are welcome to join me. Another pair of hands can only help, especially when they wield powerful magic. I thank you. However ineffective our actions may be, I shall not rest until I have made my payment to you. If you have searched through Mullahay's treasure, you may have found a sword among his documents. The sword is a moonblade, and it is my most valued possession. Although, unfortunately, if we want Zan on the team, we gotta kick somebody off, so sorry, Zan. I think you're gonna have to wait here a moment. Yes, we would like to remove Zan. Nope. Remove Zan. Can you not do this anymore? You used to be able to just remove a party member. Now, wouldn't we be a heel if we just removed Imoen right now? We won't do that. This isn't good. We really don't want to... This is frustrating. Okay, I suppose... See, the problem is both of our characters, our sets of characters here, come in pairs. If we get rid of Minsk, we have to get rid of Dynahair. If we get rid of Khalid and Jaheira, we have to get rid of, well, yeah, I said their name in tandem because it's hard to say one. It's hard to say Khalid without saying Jaheira. Really quickly, I suppose we could just get rid of Khalid and Jaheira and then just see what happens. And then really quickly we can talk to them. Oh. While my stay with you was admittedly fruitless, it has at least been fun. I might even enjoy sharing another ill-fated adventure with you, should you ever require the use of my considerable talents. I was like, sir, for some weird reason it counted as getting rid of Zan, but now we have to also really quickly re-recruit Khalid and Jaheira. Very well, though I doubt Gorion would approve of me leaving you. I cannot force my company upon you. These choices are yours to make. I openly question your judgment, but it is your decision to make. You do show some measure of leadership, and I should be glad to assist you in the future. Alright, so we'll just give a quick talk to Khalid and Jaheira again, and we'll get them back, get them back on our team. You have returned! Perhaps you have discovered some of the wisdom that Gorion tried to impart upon you? Shall we rejoin for the good of all? I have returned to you by my own choice, not that of my foster father. If you would join me, you would join my group, not Gorion's. As well it should be. Gorion taught you as best he could, and evidently some of that knowledge has stuck after all. Okay, so we got him back on our team, that's fair enough. Hopefully all their gear stayed with them. Good, good. Okay, characters moving back into position. Pardon me. And, if I could get this doggone...
They wish my
Okay, there. That's good enough. What do we do, though, now?
I'm
We
not
can't...
surprised.
We'll have to
But
fight
what
this
the
with
heck?
5 people. We can definitely do it with 5 people. Let's go ahead and level Luther up, see if he gets any more pips in his weaponry this way. He does! Another point in longswords. Cheers. And some more HP. That can't ever hurt. Now, in this up-and-coming fight, we're going to need... The hard part of the fight, so to say, is going to be the moment that we need to resist the beginnings of Malahay's spells. In order to do that, perhaps we should see if we have any potions that will help us. Potion of cold resistance is no good. Potion of hill giant strength, perhaps that's useful. Potion of insulation resistance to lightning, not terribly helpful in our particular endeavor. Now, our friend Dynahair here should have... No, she doesn't have access to level 2 spells yet. She has quite a few spells that we could write in her book. Oh, there's sleep, but she can't learn it. Pity. Now, she can't learn sleep. Is there... We still don't have an identify scroll. Because I said earlier she couldn't learn identify. Is that... Because I'm assuming she's the same class as Edwin. What was Edwin? Was Edwin a conjurer? Ah, forget it. We'll figure it out when we find an identification scroll. Regardless, unfortunately, Dynahair just isn't a ton of help in this fight. We'll be able to bless with Jaheira, but as far as pre-fight preparations go, that's kind of it.
That might work.
Potion of Hill Giant Strength might be useful for Khalid. I think that's it. We'll have Khalid drink a potion of Hill Giant Strength. Because I don't really think we can do much else other than that. We'll have Khalid swap back over to his melee weapons. A good friend Minskir will swap over to his melee weapons. What I'm really worried about is Minsk biting the bullet here, just because of his comparatively low armor class. Protection versus evil. Okay, that's something. Dynahair is going to use a protection versus evil scroll on him. Now, how long does this Hill Giant Strength spell last? 2 hours. That's plenty of time. We can have him drink that preemptively. We're going to go ahead and have Jaheira drop that. I almost said base bless spell. Okay, and now you see here that protection versus evil is going to help Minsk's AC out a bit. In addition to, I forgot we gave him the brawling hands. I thought they were just called the Gauntlets of Dexterity, but apparently they're called the Brawling Hands. That might have been an update in an enhanced edition. Really quickly, I want to make sure. I'm pretty sure Protection versus Evil lowers AC. Okay, so it kind of lowers AC, but inadvertently does it. It just makes it so that anyone who attacks the creature has a -2 penalty to the attack roll, which is kind of like lowering AC. It's functionally almost identical.
That might work.
I'm actually having a hard time trying to figure out why it wouldn't be identical.
Tezog must have dispatched you, and my traitorous kobolds let you pass, didn't they? I knew I could not trust them. Armed as such, you are obviously been sent to kill me. By Cyric, not a measure of our ore leaves these mines unspoiled, and I am still to be executed? I'll not lose my head over this.
No one sent us, but thy head is in no less danger. Reveal thy treachery, and mayhap we will be merciful.
Tezog did not send thee, that thou art dead. Help me, my minions, help!
Okay, so Malahay, half ogre or orc or something like that. As we said earlier, the real danger here is the opening number, where he will cast spells like Hold Person, possibly even the one that bewilders you. What is that one called? Feeble Mind.
Excellent.
He is a priest, so he casts clerical spells. Our goal here is just to disrupt this spell, hopefully any way we can. We're going to try to hit him with one of Dynahair's scrolls, and the rest of us will just, well, jump in and throw everything we got at him. Okay, perfect.
Excellent.
That was a disrupted spell. Now, you may have noticed a large number of... That was not a disrupted spell. That was a spell that did not get disrupted, in spite of the hit. That is just very, very terrible. Luther loses control here due to him now being befuddled with the rigid thinking. With any luck, he will not attack the party, because if he does, we are just pretty much done for. And in fact, this whole situation is looking very, very, very grim. Now we're attempting still to disrupt Mullahay's spells. Mullahay is apparently badly injured, which is quite shocking. Jaheira needs to swap over to her melee weapons and double as one of our front row fighters. Luther seems like he may be fighting one of the skeletons in spite of being affected by rigid thinking, which is very good for us.
There'll be safety in numbers, and I am 2 or 3 at least.
Minsk is continuing to fight Mullahay. Khalid is continuing to fight Mullahay. I think that's just what our best option is. If we can take out Mullahay somehow, then perhaps we stand a chance against the Horde here.
I yield to thee. Accept my surrender.
As well you should. Tell us what has been happening here, and you may yet leave alive.
I thank thee for thy mercy. There in the chest are all my letters. Take them and leave me be. I will bother you no more.
Okay, he says he won't bother us anymore, but the fact of the matter remains we have a large number of hostile kobolds and skeletons coming after us, and with Minsk being held, there is not a good chance here of us being able to save his life. We're going to try to heal him with Jaheira, but it is just an uphill battle no matter which way you slice it. Perhaps we can, I don't know, try desperately to kill these kobolds, but I don't think it's happening. We have just far too many of them. Jaheira could attempt another Cure Light Wounds. She might as well, but no, it's just too late. So Minsk goes down. Now Dynahair is upset about that. Minsk! His mighty berserker strength will not go unremembered. Now Jaheira is nearly down. We'll go ahead and have her chug a healing potion, but unfortunately Luther was carrying a lot of them there. Oh wait, no. Khalid has 3 here. And this ultimately is the problem with rigid thinking and being held. You just, total loss of control over the character just makes it so you can't really even have them help themselves. Alright, Luther's still out of commission here. Not much to do other than to just use our melee attacks and just hope for the best. We can have Dynahair use the Scroll of Magic Missile against this skeleton. That should take it out. One less target to deal with.
You have need of me? You've attacked whatever they need.
And we're effectively just down to 4 party members. Luckily, and this is the only thing that is keeping us alive in any capacity, luckily, Luther has just decided for the most part to just stand there, because if he decided to turn against the party, we would be so hilariously dead it wouldn't even be funny. However, it does appear that he has broken free of the Feeble Mind spell. We still lost Minx. Very sad. I might not like him, but that doesn't mean he deserves to die. With Jaheira taking heavy fire here, we'll move her out of the way. The rest of the party can swap over to their ranged weapons and hopefully snipe this kobold down while it's chasing her. Okay, guys. Come on, guys. Okay. Whew! That was dicey.
Excellent. That might work.
And it was a little more than dicey. We certainly lost our lovable ranger. And we have a decision to make. And I know it's a bit of a heartless one, but we could get rid of Minx now. We could indeed kick Minx off, and we could keep Dynahair. That would feel a bit bad, but we don't need 3 frontline fighters. You really only need 2 in Baldur's Gate. Well, you really only need 1, but 2 makes it a lot easier. Guy's corpse isn't even cold yet, and we're talking about replacing him. Well, for now, let's go ahead and shore up the party as far as Jaheira's HP goes. Because apparently she's really the only one who needs help right now. And it's kind of, this fight is a good glimpse, sort of the rather imbalanced nature of spells in general in AD&D. A single Feeble Mind spell being successfully cast was able to completely turn the tide of that combat. If we had had Luther in that fight, it's very possible that we would have just outright killed all of the enemies before they could have even killed Minsk. It's it would not be that weird to think that that is a possible outcome. And there were a lot of things we were trying to do to prevent that. We were trying to hit Mullahay to knock him out of the spell, and we were trying to prep beforehand, but really didn't have any spell resistances, anything we could properly... wow, that's 2 spells failed. That's too bad. We didn't really need any of the... That's a... Wow! 4 spells in a row gone. What is her percentage? It's not awful. 75%. We rolled a d4 4 times and got a 1 4 times in a row. But again, we don't really need any of those spells that we had picked up, surprisingly.
What the heck?
So we should, in general, be fine. Anyway, we need to look at this chest, and the funny thing is, the moment we take a look in this chest, Mullahay is going to become hostile again.
Had to try.
Which is why I've been stalling out, trying to set up everyone's gear here. I guess, and if it's anything like the original, not only does Mullahay become hostile again, a ton of new bad guys spawn up in that corner of the room. I suppose we'll just roll our dice. I don't really know of any fancy moves we can use. Let's just check the chest.
I'll have your skulls for coming here. You'll ruin everything.
Excellent.
And here he goes, angry again. Casting more spells, fantastic. Now, do we have anything that can disrupt this? Anything at all? We'll have Dynahair use a scroll of burning hands. Hopefully that doesn't hit the party. And wow! It was enough to take him out. 15 fire damage from Dynahair. Luckily, his spell did not get cast. Either it was disrupted. Yeah, we see their spell casting failure from getting hit. But now we have a whole new slew of these creatures to deal with. We'll have our 3 non-mage characters attempt to form a front line and just desperately keep these creatures away from... Dynahair. Dynahair is kind of like the king piece here. She's the one we need to protect.
Can I help you?
Excellent. Here goes nothing.
However, with the strength of the fighters and the relative high level of their AC, it seems like we're going to be fine. Jahira's club probably getting a bonus against the skeletons to a certain degree.
Here goes nothing.
Alright, well, that's that.
Excellent. What the heck?
Well, guys, I think we're getting rid of Minsk. I know everyone loves him, and I'm so sorry if he's like your favorite character or something. We have a much better chance of needing to use him in 2, but we're going to get rid of Minsk. We'll go ahead and reform him here. Just kick the carcass of our friend to the side, right in front of Dynahair. That feels a bit cruel, but such is life in Baldur's Gate.
Life is so hollow.
Hello, my unfortunate friends. No doubt a comrade or two has met their deaths, and now you require me to step into their still warm boots. Oh my goodness! That's dark. Let's... Okay, so this is kind of a problem of role-playing. I think we're just gonna have to functionally choose this, because neither of these responses make sense. If we choose the top one, we say, no, nothing quite so gruesome, which is a lie. And if we say the bottom one, we kind of are mean to him, but really it's just a yes or a no. We're gonna go with a no, because I feel like good Luther is gonna be like, oh, Deaths of our friends? No, that's not why we're getting you back on our team, Zan. And feeling a little self-conscious because of it. At any rate, the deed is done. Minsk is no longer in the party, so we are going to have to pick up the pieces and move on.
Okay, had to try.
If at first I don't succeed, the wife won't let me forget.
Yes,
Oh, Kelly.
authority figure.
It is certain that
Oh.
the death of Mullah
All right.
will relieve the fears of the terrorized folk of Nashkel. But you remain uneasy. While the half-orc may indeed have caused the evils that befell the mine, the shortage of iron is too widespread to be his doing alone. His letters confirm your suspicions.
The ones we haven't
Though
read
they
yet.
give little indication as to where his cohorts are hiding. They may have links to the bandits that currently plague the coastway.
Okay, so what the narrator is referencing there are the letters we just picked up from the body of Mullahay. We'll go ahead and give those a read once we are able to better sort things out. And actually, hang on. I always forget to turn off notifications when I'm recording. Alright.
That might work.
Right,
What
Luther's
the heck?
gear is full. Apparently Khalid's gear is full.
D'accord, no less than done.
Okay.
Your servant awaits.
We'll just make a quick pass over Mullahay's remains, make sure there's nothing we missed. It does not appear there is. Good, great. We are ready to divvy things up. A potion of mind focusing, int and dex +3. That would be handy for Dynahair to have when she's writing things into her spellbook. Oh, and she can learn identify. Look at that. Kalu Kalay. We now have the ability to identify things, which means she is not the same class as Edwin. Here is the Moonblade +3. Very, very fancy weapon. Very good weapon just in general for a mage to have, even if it's just because of the +1 armor class. That being said, if you're having Zan fight things in melee range, well, that's a scary proposition in general, so perhaps you have more important things to worry about if Zan is actually using the edge of that blade. Well, with Dynahair with the ability to identify things, we're just going to go ahead and pile on the identification spells, and, well, what, really?
Whatever they need.
I suppose we could try to
An
rest
unexpected
here.
request, but sure.
Will the kobolds stop fighting us now that we're, well, we've defeated their master? Not sure what was going on there.
As good as
You
done.
are startled out
Nope.
of sleep with a chill, though the night is warm and calm. It is though someone has walked across your grave, and for a moment you wonder if it was you. With this thought, the ground beneath you opens, and you are swept into the dark. When light returns, you do not find its presence comforting. Before you lay the empty mines of Nashkel, cleansed by your previous passage. You move through walls and floors alike, descending deeper and deeper, until a bloated figure comes into view. Mullahay, in no better shape than you left him, stands motionless before you. Held from whatever afterlife calls it, this foul apparition has been waiting for you. A dagger of bone hovers before it, ready for a willing hand to drive it deep. Had this creature breath, you are sure it would be hurling curses. It waits for the kill, a death beyond death, and knows no hope. You turn your back on the blade, and it clatters to the floor. Punishment enough shall find this creature in the land of the dead. You need not inflict any more upon him. Surprised and thankful, the visage of Mullahay hobbles forward and through you, off to whatever fate it deserves. Perhaps for safekeeping, it leaves a part of itself behind. It is a spark of hope that fills a space within you, a dagger-shaped hole you did not know was empty. There is a cry of rage from the depths, and The dagger of bone launches itself through the air. Your heart, its target. You awake just as it should have struck, and the cold sweat that covers you stings your eyes. A disapproving voice lingers in your ears, though it should have disappeared with the dream. You will learn.
Having been a person who's... it's a fairly common thing, so it's not super weird, but like the whole... What is it called? A waking dream? It's super spooky when you have things talking to you while you wake up.
Excellent.
So yes, you will learn would be a very chilling thing to hear while you've woken up from your dream. But yes, there we have it. The good dream as far as slaying Mullahay goes. Apparently we're granting him mercy, and something out there doesn't like the fact that we are. Interestingly enough, the trigger for the next chapter is running in here and grabbing the loot from the chest. So unless they fix that in Enhanced Edition, you can come in here, grab the loot from the chest, trigger the second chapter, and just run out. And the dream will still act as if you killed Mullahay, even though you haven't. That being said, we have our spells up and ready, so let's start identifying some of this cool gear. So we have a Ring of Holiness, honore Ring of Sun or Sune. It gives, I believe, +1 spell to priests of each level 1 through 4, which in Baldur's Gate 1 is every spell level available. However, Jaheira has not gained access to level 2 spells yet, so she will not gain the benefit of that at this moment in time. +1 club would be a good thing to ID. Club +1. From chair legs to felled trees, clubs are the universal weapons of everyone, from tavern brawlers to giants. And a +1 club is just going to let Jaheira actually strike weapons that require magical creatures. We'll go ahead and identify this one, Varsona. I believe this was the bastard sword? No, sorry, longsword. Acquired from... Oh, the bounty hunter who was trying to kill Prism. I've already forgotten his name. Something Gastkill? No, that's the mayor. Wolfwood. Right? Wolf's Bane. No, it's Wormwood? It's probably Wolfwood. Anyway, longsword, +2 of the +2 variety, and it has an additional bonus of having cold damage? Well, okay then. That's right in line with what we want Luther to have equipped, and in fact, we can just, frankly, get rid of our meager iron longswords at this point, because magic weapons don't break. Because they're made out of magic iron, or something. And that was our 3 identification spells, so we're just going to have to sleep again. And it does appear that the creatures in the mines are going to leave us alone. Talos' Gift! Electrical resistance of +50. Very nice for people who are speedrunning the game solo. Allows you to get through several traps and trapped chests and of the sort without running into trouble. We're going to go ahead and roll the dice on these spells, since, again, they aren't terribly important. It's not really a big deal if Dynahair does not learn them. She already knows strength? Okay. Yeah, I guess she did. Ugh, those are horrible level 2 spells. Hopefully we find something better soon and quick. We'll go ahead and ID the Tome of Leadership and Influence. Oh, forgot that. Makes the most sense to always give these tomes to your main character, since the stats gained will not transfer to the new games, largely because most of the NPCs you get in Baldur's Gate 1 do not make an appearance in Baldur's Gate 2. Or, they do not make a recruitable appearance. And we'll ID the Wand of Blizzard, which will be a nice get-out-of-jail-free card anytime you need it. Those identification spells go quite quickly, so we're going to go ahead and rest again and repeat the process. Short sword +1 will go to Imoen when she wakes up. Wakes up. That's right, she's just sleeping. Just sleeping, guys. Don't worry. No need to stress. These are arrows of fire. Helm of infravision. Questionable why this exists. I don't know if infravision actually affects morale. I don't know if anyone's actually really looked into the code and tried to figure out whether having Khalid with infravision gives him a morale boost in the dark. I don't know. But I always give it to Khalid, him being a human and unable to see... No, sorry, half-elf. What am I saying? That's right, both Khalid and Jahir are half-elves. They have infravision. I am speaking nothing but lies here. In fact, the only person who would really benefit from this is Luther, since, well, benefit and be able to equip it. Yeah, for some reason I thought for a moment Khalid was half-elf, or human. The Wing of Wizardry, otherwise known as the Ring of Brokenry, amazing ring for any wizard, lets us learn double the number of level 1 spells, and arguably I should have had the foresight to ID that ring first, because then we could have ID'd all these other things much faster without having to sleep 1,000 times. Belt of Antipode, cold resistance of plus 100, but it doubles all fire damage taken. That's probably going to be a sell for me, unless you are very specifically trying to resist cold damage. There's not a really good reason to equip the Belt of Antipode. The Ring of the Princes, otherwise known as the Ring of Protection plus 1, will probably give this... we could give it to Luther. He'd become even more of an impenetrable wall, but we'll probably give that to Khalid to round out his AC, putting it in line closer with Luther himself. Girdle of Bluntness, armor class plus 4 versus crushing. This is something that is probably best given to a frontliner. You're not seeing a lot of ranged attacks that are crushing damage, really only coming in the form of slings, and I'm hard-pressed to think of an enemy that uses slings against you. I don't think there are that many, if any, at all. Because of that, we'll go ahead and grant this... Well, do we give it to Luther, or do we give it to Khalid? Khalid would certainly benefit from having it just because his AC is a little lower than Luther's. Not by much, but I suppose we'll have Khalid use it for now, and if it becomes a problem later, we'll swap it up. Arrows of Fire, plus 2, no less. Very strong. Again, it's insane that the Kobold Commandos use those and are only worth 35 EXP. It's criminal. Go ahead and read these letters. My servant Mullahay, I have sent you the kobolds and mineral poison that you require. Your task is to poison any iron that leaves these mines. Don't reveal your presence to the miners, or you will find yourself swamped by soldiers from the local Omnian garrison. My superiors have recently hired on the services of the Black Talon mercenaries and the Chill. With these soldiers at my disposal, I should be able to destroy any caravans entering the region from the south and east. I don't want to deal with iron coming from the Nashkel mines, so don't fail in your duty. And a symbol represents the god Sirik. I'm not super knowledgeable of Forgotten Realm gods, but I want to say that's a god that deals with the dead, maybe? Maybe not. With Minx gone, we can look now to giving the Gauntlets of Dexterity to somebody else who could make use of it. Surprisingly, there are still not that many people in the party who need it desperately, but giving it to Khalid would lower his armor class quite a bit, down to -2, the same level as Luther's. We're going to go ahead and steal his -2 ring then, since we did give him the belt that gives him +4 versus crushing, and since we use Luther as the point man more often than we use Khalid. Okay, moving right along. Potion of Absorption, probably not directly useful, but it's kind of like having these boots that reduce lightning in certain circumstances. It can be pretty handy. My servant Mullahay, your progress is disrupting the flow of iron. your progress in disrupting the flow of iron does not go as well as it should. How stupid can you be to allow your kobolds to murder the miners? With your presence revealed, you should be wary of enemies sent to stop your operation. Your task is a very simple one. If you continue to show that you can't do the job, you will be replaced. I will not send the kobolds you have requested, as I need all the troops I possess to stop the flow of iron into this region. With this message, I have sent more of the mineral poison that you require. If you have any problems, then send a message to my new contact in Beargost. His name is Trenzig, and he'll be staying at the Feldpost Inn. Well, fancy that. We know where the Feldpost Inn is. We can go there and rough that guy up. Okay, we're just going to hand Jaheira all the stuff we want to sell. Potion of Insulation. We have a lot of stuff that can protect us against crushing and electricity. So, Potion of Absorption seems like just the better version of the Potion of Insulation. Not only does it give you 100% electrical resistance, but also plus 10 versus crushing attacks. It makes you bouncy and rubbery. Crushing attacks just kind of bounce off. Potion of Cold Resistance might be useful should we encounter anyone who deals cold damage. The Black Talon Elites will when we encounter them. I think that's it, though. I think we finally went through everyone. I'm going back and forth on whether or not we should keep the Belt of Antipode. Like, on the one hand, if we know that no one is going to use fire, it's 100% resistance on demand of cold damage. Alright, we're going to keep this belt. We'll give it to Dynahair for the time being.
Excellent. What the heck?
Whew. Okay. Imowen's dead. Minsk is gone. But we did it.
What the heck?
We really should save so that we don't have to do all that over again, because that would be terrible. Now, moving up here, we're going to run into some slimes. They're creatures that you can only harm with a +1 weapon. But, as luck would have it, we just identified all of those magical weapons, so we should be good to go. Okay, I thought we were going to run into slimes. Did they remove them? No, here they are. A gray ooze. Alright, so +2 longsword at the ready. Sorry, Khalid, you don't have a plus anything weapon. Jaheira with her +1 club, and, well, Dynahair and Khalid are just going to have to hang back. Khalid, hang back.
I can, but try.
Because there isn't anything they can do other than provide a body.
That might
But the two, the pair, Luther and Jaheira, should make very, very quick work of them.
Excellent. An unexpected request, but sure.
Gather your party before venturing.
Now, there's a fight out here. It's interesting you can't go back once you travel through that passage. A little further into the cave, you can see that it has collapsed. It looks as if going back into the cave is now impossible. The only way through the rubble would be from the other side.
I'm not surprised. That might work.
But if you go in a this-a-way direction, you can encounter a very difficult fight. One that I don't fancy our chances with right now, and so instead we're going to go this way. We'll come back here later if we need the gear. The fight, while difficult, yields, that's the word I was looking for, yields some of the best leather armor in the game, as well as a generous amount of other magical items. That being said, we really need to get to Nashkel.
No. What the heck?
And res our fallen thief, as well as provide evidence that we have indeed secured proof of shenanigans going on in the mines. Now, if memory serves correctly, this is the file where we ticked off those tavern patrons. Because of that, we're going to be unable to rest here, and that's fine, I suppose.
You must gather your party before venturing forth.
If a little frustrating.
That might work.
Helm, watch over thee upon thy quest.
Yes, yes, we're practically your temple patrons at this point, aren't we, buddy? Okay, everyone back. It's a pity she died at all, but whatever. Rocking that short sword +1 that we'll probably never use. Oh no. We threw away one too many short bows. We'll have to pick one up from the Nashkel store.
Nature's servant awaits.
Good on you if you saved the day.
I'm glad you're happy, Imoen, but shouldn't you be more concerned about your own health? She's like resurrection drunk. Normally we would do this just by resting, but since we can't rest, it just always makes me nervous to have her at low HP. Well, her. By her I mean anyone at low HP.
Stand away, citizen!
You have returned. It would seem I was right to trust you. The town thanks you wholeheartedly and is pleased to give you the proper reward. Please take this 900 gold for your efforts. It is a small fortune by anyone's standards. Thank you again. I also found this vial of liquid on one of the kobolds in the mines. I think it may have something to do with the iron. I'm no master of metals, but you might want to show it to Thunderhammer up in Baragos. He might know a little more. Again, thank you for all you've done.
Weird. Wait, what? I don't remember the line about giving the iron to Thunderhammer. However, we did lose...
Perhaps this group
We lost Mullahay's letter and Mullahay's holy symbol. Oh, no. Okay. We found the vial of mysterious liquid, and that's what Baron Gaskill told us to provide to Thunderhammer, not the ore. The ore is useless, it's pointless, we're just gonna pitch it now.
No, that might work.
Yeah, if you don't have Mullahay's symbol and the letter there, which you saw left our inventory, you don't get as much EXP, I believe, from finishing the quest. And of course, so it's just primarily advisable to take the items with you, since it costs you nothing.
Business has been poor.
Okay, we need to pick up another short bow for Imoen. As well as transfer enough arrows to her person to be usable. We don't need this letter anymore. We're going to offload
Excellent. What the heck?
Customer is always right.
the majority of the gems and such that we acquired during our travels. Oh, wait, we need to make sure we don't sell Joseph's Greenstone ring. Is that it? Does appear to be. Okay, so I'm interested to see what Thunderhammer has to say about these vials. I don't know if I've really done that quest.
But sure.
So,
I am death come for thee. Surrender, and thy passage shall be quicker.
What? I'm not surrendering to anything. Struggle if you must, dead one. I do not mind working for my money. Why Nimble has been hired to deal with the likes of you, I'll never know. Alright, so right out of the frying pan and into the fire, from one dangerous situation to another, we are now going to need to very quickly disperse Nimble's ability to cloak himself in a mirror image. Unfortunately, Dynahair is still equipped with nothing but identification scrolls, an oversight on my part. However, hopefully... and that's exactly why you should never underestimate the power of a Blizzard wand. It looks like we accidentally hit Rasad? You should not make the habit of picking fights in the street, my friend. Be careful when inviting danger into your life, for it comes all too willingly. Sorry, I don't have the time for proverbs right now. No, we didn't hit Rasad. I think he just commented to us after we fought Nimble.
An unexpected request. But
Well, that's where we're going to end it today. We're going to pick up in the next episode, going probably to the shop in Beargoss to give Thunderhammer the vials of mysterious liquid. I'm not sure what that does. Kind of curious to see what happens. Regardless, thank you for watching as always. I hope you had a bit of fun watching the shenanigans of good Luther. In the next one, who knows where the adventure will take us. In the meantime, take care out there. Don't forget to have fun in all of the things you do. And I'll see you in the next one.